All right, we're on YouTube Live. Professor Clark, you can welcome everybody.
Hey. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another week of Tech School, a special week which we are doing today, a city highlight. So we'd like to welcome everybody who's joining us either on Zoom as a mentor, observer, or on YouTube. So welcome everybody to this week's Tech School Talk. I'll let Stephen do a little introduction of our speaker, but I just wanted to give everybody an update. Those who are from CSUSM, the Innovation Hub is running the Spring Innovation Challenge, and we have two of those deadlines coming up. LaRonda has been a past winner of the Fall Innovation Challenge, so we have some winners on our call. But we have two challenges. One is an open challenge, so you can take your own, own challenge and propose a solution, or we also are working on a fixed challenge, which is about food insecurity. So if you're interested in trying to help students or the community at large with food insecurity problems, there's a challenge on campus that we're hosting right now. Also, a quick update, one of the exciting news from this week from the Innovation Hub is that we received a Conrad Previs grant of $250,000. So we're super excited about that to build out and to advance the Innovation Hub on campus. So anyway, I'll turn some time over to Stephen to remind people of a few things and get our city highlights started.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, just to, I guess, preface this whole city highlight, we have an exciting session planned. We have Tripti. She is our resident, in the city highlight this week. So it's going to be exciting. But just to, wrap up a few things before we get started. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to give us a like, leave a comment down below. We want this to be kind of a community of learning between everyone that's able to tune in. So if you have, thoughts, feel free to share them. If you have questions, share those too. And all the interactions we get with videos like this help push it out to more people. So you leaving a like, leaving a comment, sharing your thoughts, asking a question helps push this out to more people. So if you found something really cool, really insightful, or really enjoyed the video, do that, because it might push it out to somebody who might find it equally as exciting. So yeah, and I will hand it on over to Curling and Tripti.
All right. I'm looking at Tripti. I know you said you're right near your closet now, Tripti.
Yes, I'm right in front of my closet.
I love it.
I don't know if you start everyone first, or if you just want me to start.
Yeah, you know what? I think the one thing, just want to thank you actually in some ways, because you've been helping the cohort so much. So I want to just give a little shout out for that part. It's been really fun seeing the cohort help each other, and thanks for Sunny being on, and LaRonda and Brianna and Vivian. I think we had a very special cohort this year just during the whole time. But I'm just gonna hand it off to you, Tripti. I will let you. I really always enjoyed your enthusiasm. So I'm gonna enjoy this city highlight today.
Enthusiasm. That is a great word. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm gonna make this full screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Tripti Thakur, and I'm the founder of The Stylish Closet, a wardrobe solution to help you to wear more of what you own. So in America, people are wearing just 20% of their clothes. So all their clothes keep wearing the same 20%. And what this leads to is wasted time, wasted money, and overall waste. And what I mean by that is it's taking 17 minutes a day to get ready, to figure out what you're going to wear. And of the clothes that you're not wearing, between a quarter and a third of those still have price tags on them. And what that really leads to is that we're buying a lot of stuff that we're not wearing, and the average person is throwing away 70 pounds of clothing a year, which is leading to 85% of those going to landfills. So really it's sort of important factor. So we went to 500 women and asked them, okay, tell us, why aren't you wearing the majority of these clothes? And the overwhelming majority told us that it was an impulse purchase. It was this great brand on super sale. It's a shirt I love, but it's green and it doesn't go with anything else. Or I have forgotten that I have 4 black shirts look exactly the same. So I just bought another one. Enter the stylish closet. And this is a lot of words, but really what it is, it's a web-based platform where users are going to tell us what they're not wearing. They're going to tell us what they are wearing, and they're going to get suggestions and recommendations from a stylist. So here's how exactly that works. 3 easy steps. So snap, select, receive. So take a picture of, in this case, this brown furry jacket. I have this jacket, I love it, but I'm not wearing it. Select the items, like your go-to items that you are wearing. Here are all the pieces, that I love, and then receive outfit recommendations. And what those are you're going to get 6 recommendations. 3 of those are going to be from these go-to pieces, like here are these perfect matches. And 3 are going to be inspired, recommendations from our stylist of how to perhaps elevate that brown jacket. If you want something super personalized, which we hope you do, upload a selfie, upload your measurements, and then see yourself in those looks. So how it looks on your skin color, on your, with your features, on your body type. So back to those, back to those facts before. Get your time back. Have your outfits planned out. Have your outfits planned out for the week for your event. Save your money because you're shopping your own closet, or you're not buying impulsively, or buying with intention, and save the world. And this is actually something I say frequently, certainly to our team, that like not everybody can stop taking flights. Not everybody can afford an electric car. Not everyone can become vegetarian. Every single person can wear more of their own stuff. I can get definitely deeper into revenue opportunities when, in Q&A, but really we're looking at this as 3 main, 3 main outlets. The first is very big B2B. So my background is in e-commerce. For example, I know that brands will spend $5,000 to $50,000 on an email. So if you're Banana Republic, you get that brown furry jacket and you're like, wait, our black pants will look great with that. That brand will pay for a sponsorship, for a placement, for a contest. And certainly affiliate rev is the easiest way. The second is I also have experience running a company that created stores like Shopify does. So in a niche marketplace, having stylists and organizers in a world of virtual styling, having them say, hey, instead of me giving back to you something on a flat mood board, let me tell you exactly what outfits I'm picking for you and how they look on you. And they would pay a licensing fee similar to a Shopify. And the third is B2C, and that's direct subscription for those users that just want to organize their clothes and see how they look and have them styled. They'll pay a subscription fee like some of the competitors that I'll go through in a minute. So now this is who are you and why are you qualified to make this decision and why is this important? So we're a team of e-commerce and fashion experts. I'm going to start with e-commerce because none of us are fashionable. And my experience is in finance primarily and mostly in e-commerce. And I have been a CFO of a $100 million retail company, and I have a lot of clothes. And these 2 guys over here, I've worked with for 12 years, both of them heavily in e-commerce. Shah is a product and acquisition expert. He's also been a CEO of a startup. And Anand he's a full stack guy, but he's the best DBA I've ever met in my entire life. And we've worked together for 12 years. He knows loyalty inside and out. He knows tables inside and out. And that's important for something we're building now because of that infrastructure. Like, what is the outfit? How does it go? How do I get it to the stylist, etc. And here are our fashion experts. So Aliyar Khan, mostly high-end luxury, but has implemented sustainability practices at all of his companies. And I've known him for 20 years, but we've also worked together for 2 at a separate startup. And Liana, who's actually my own closet organizer. So it was another way of really seeing what these people do, how they do like the sort of 4 R's of like reuse, rewear, repurpose, recycle. So that organization is really important. My story and why this is important to me is because I grew up in a family, lots of love, lots of education, very little money. So we had 1 outfit in the first day of school and 1 outfit for our birthdays, unless we outgrew them. And I have 2 older sisters who are sort of the same size and shape as me. So I never got to like outgrow my clothes. So by the time that I would get these clothes, much of the time they were 4 or 5 years old. And so I had this exact problem of too many clothes, not knowing what to wear, and trying to find a way to make this like older shirt look cool. So utility is a really important part of my DNA. Why now? A lot of these trends heavily accelerated by the pandemic, but first, brands. They used to be very formulaic. We only, will follow these rules. We don't want to take a lot of risks. Apparel is down 90%. This is an industry that's been hit $100 billion in just 1 year. They are now willing to say, wait a second, and e-commerce has stayed relatively flat, but their, in-store experiences have certainly been impaired. So what can we do? What tech solutions exist? How can we bolster growth? How can we gain retention, gain loyalty? So on the brand side, very favorable. Virtual shopping has blown up, right? People don't want to go to the stores. They don't want to put clothes on top of their faces. So huge news, especially in Amazon and Stitch Fix, of how can I get you as close as possible to that outfit? How can you see how that looks without you coming to the store? Lots of investment in 3D and virtual styling. Certainly in London, big investments into companies like Texel. And then finally on the individual, because you kind of need the individual to have that need of like, can I wear the same thing? Prior to the pandemic, people would wear things 3 times on Instagram and it would be considered old. And it helped bolster, fast fashion, like, wait, I can't be seen in the same thing. And then post-pandemic, there was this unanimous acceptance of not only do we love that you're wearing the same thing, we want to see how you're restyling it. And like hashtag repurpose has 200 million posts on Instagram alone. So all of these trends are very favorable for what we're building. Last year is competitors. So sort of sectioned out into 3 different places. One, we all kind of know these on the left-hand side of personal styling, Stitch Fix, Trunk Club, lots of money, lots of market cap. You get a monthly, box. Tell us what you like. The middle is very high touch, very personalized. Let's get to know you. Wishy Thread just raised a lot of money, mostly for men. And then on the right-hand side is virtual closet organizers. Many people don't know about this, but this is how you would know that you already have 4 black shirts that look exactly the same. So Style Book and Combine and Combine, maybe you haven't heard of it, but 5 million downloads on Google Play alone. And they do about 85,000 outfits a day. So where we are right now on stage is we are oversubscribed currently on our wait list. We are taking a small group every week, but you can sign up here on thestylishcloset.com or you can reach out to me directly, and I can get you on a wait list. And here's where you sign up, and that's it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Tripti. Great work. And what we'll do, we'll introduce some of our guest mentors, guest sharks, and then we'll start the process of city highlights. Just so everyone knows, Fokcus has been doing city highlights for a few years. We started off with doing it with Apple. It's really just to highlight, we felt like the best founders in your city, and just understanding that and just having a kind of round table. We do say this kind of Shark Tank, but it's really more like Fish Tank. And we've had a few people have been on the panel before. Professor Clark, why don't you introduce yourself first, and then I'll move on to the other guest mentors.
Good afternoon again. My name is Sam Clark. I'm an assistant professor at Cal State University in San Marcos, and also faculty director of the Innovation Hub on campus. So I've been working with Curly and doing city highlights for a long time.
Larry, you go next if you can introduce yourself.
You said me, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I'm Larry Maxim, and I'm in the asset protection business. I've been practicing patent, trademark, and copyright law in San Diego for 40 years, and I started my practice in Boston before relocating here. I have enjoyed very much the practice. It's a different challenge every day, legal and technical challenges, and I actually look forward to Monday mornings. Go ahead.
Thanks, Larry. And thanks also for your service, Larry. There was a veteran. I always have to put that in. Next, Kyle, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Kyle. I'm currently a junior studying systems engineering and design with a concentration in computer science at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. So a little bit about me. I'm currently a project manager for one of the largest consulting organizations in the nation. And then I also create websites and design websites for a lot of startups and any personal brands too.
And Kyle's good friends with our resident UI UX person Elliot, and so I met Kyle a while back ago. And Kyle, thank you for coming on again, because Kyle he was on the first city highlights with Brianna, and I think it was positive. And lastly, Professor Lois Shelton.
Oh, hi. Thank you. I'm Lois Shelton. I'm a professor of management and entrepreneurship at the Cal State University Northridge. I've been active in designing and teaching entrepreneurship courses and advising and mentoring teams and individuals. So I'm really excited to be here today.
Thanks, Lois. One question I start off, I didn't do this last time, but one question I start off, I ask everyone, like, do you guys understand the stylist closet? You guys want to have any kind of clarifying questions? I'll start with you, Lois. Any clarifying questions you want to ask our founder?
Yes, one clarifying question I was interested in is knowing a little bit more about the revenue streams and how money is going to be transferred from the clients to the company.
Oh, got it. So in a few ways. So it's free for the client to upload their, outside of the subscription, like it's free for them to just upload their photo of what they're looking for and have someone pair it. The revenue there is if they purchase it. In that case, if they purchase it, then that goes through an affiliate rev share or a subscription. So if they purchase it, that's tagged, and if it's $100 shirt and Macy's gives between a 10 and 15% rev share, then the Stylish Closet would receive between $10 and $15.
Okay, great. And you mentioned something about brand affiliations as well. Is that another revenue stream you're looking for?
Right. Okay. Yes. So where we started from, like our e-commerce background, there's two ways that works. So the first is the very quick and easy rev share that I explained, right? So by 100, we collect 10 or 15. The other is there are things called rack rates. So most affiliate rev share goes through a standard MSA where everybody gets, say, 5%, or in this case, the 10 or 15%. But if you're doing a lot of sales for, in this case, Banana Republic, or if they want to have a sponsorship for the day, everything that's designed is styled by Banana Republic. Instead of them increasing that rev share, because a lot of people don't want to do that, what they'll do is they'll give you a one-time, here's $10,000, we're going to take over your site for the day. Here's $50,000, we want to email all of your people themselves in a Banana Republic outfit.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any clarifying questions, Larry?
Well, I'm probably not particularly stylish, but in my area of trademarks and service marks, I'm wondering, Tripti, if you have made any attempt yet to file for registration of your service mark, the Stylish Closet.
Thank you, Larry. I have not. We have started talking to people, and there was another conversation at Fokcus with trademark protection that it's very preliminary, so no, we haven't.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that when I give talks to groups, I usually start out by saying that a trademark is the most important asset of any business. You can come and go, the business can go on, and if so, the trademark goes on forever as long as it's continued to be used. So it is very important. So that's something that you shouldn't put off, even if you don't have any money. It's like insurance. You have to do it early, otherwise you may lose it.
And what we can do, also, let's zoom in on your first billboard slide, Tripti, if you can do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hey, Carlene, I had one clarifying question.
Sure.
about the business model for Tripti, and that was just
Yes.
are your stylists employees, or are these people you're going to outsource?
So currently, so Ali and Lana are founders, and they, they're doing it. They're doing it with us the way that the rest of our founder agreements are working. The goal is, and this is sort of longer term, but the goal is for us to really become a little bit more algorithmic and machine learning about it. That the more information that we get, which is why we are being conscious about, about the wait list, is that the more information that we get about what propensity they have. People have more of a propensity to shop. Do they have more of a propensity to, organize and like visualize? The more that, and by the way, and I didn't mention this and I should have, when they get their looks, they rank them. So all of those data points are going to get pulled in of, the average person that uploads a white shirt enjoys the pairing with, black pants and black boots. So we're hoping to gain a lot of that information so that long term it becomes more scalable, that we don't need to have as many, stylists on board doing it, but that we know that these pairs work because that's the way that our functions are telling us they do.
Do you find that people upload like really unique items? You mentioned right there's like white shirt. Is it like, do people struggle?
No, and it's such a good question. Such a good question, because I feel like everybody has a uniform. Everybody knows exactly what to do with, their white shirt and their blue hoodie and regular jeans, right? But people like me, for example, I don't know what to do with a shirt that someone gave me from India, right? Like, I don't know what to do with that. So I think that the real secret sauce here, the real beauty of this, because a lot of people do standard items, and I think that's where Stitch Fix, like, okay, here's your work outfit, right? But the uncommon outfits that you have, the uncommon things that you don't know what to do with, that's something that you're willing, you kept that uncommon thing for a reason. You are holding on to it, you love it, you don't know what to do with it. That's where the real beauty is. Like, when people say to me, what's your metric of success? And I'm a finance person, right? So outside of clear financials, for me, it's, oh my God, Tripti, you look great. Like, I love that. I love that skirt. Oh, I had this for 4 years. I never wore it. And I used this, I used this free system that told me how to do it. And I think that that's where virality and that's where organic, fun and growth comes from. So it's sort of long-winded, but it's the uncommon pieces that people really care about, not the white shirt.
Right. I just wanted to make a couple comments here. I mean, I can definitely use this service because as you're talking about it, I have pieces that are very unusual that I like, that I haven't worn because I'm not sure what it goes with. So I'm just concerned about, are there clients, do you think, that would come to your service, would sign up for it, and you would tell them what to wear, but they wouldn't necessarily buy anything? I mean, they would just say, oh, this is wonderful. I can just continue to wear what I have. It seems that your model depends upon people buying additional clothing. And so
I love that you said that, because, by the way, I don't know if I necessarily want you to. I think that is the clearest revenue path, but that's why the third is subscription. But if the majority of people, and that's why we're still an MVP, because it's let the MVP dictate what that ultimate business model is, right? But if the majority of people just want to see it and they want to be styled and they want to have fun and they want to visualize themselves in these things, then it's subscription. And that's what Stylebook and a lot of other companies have done really, really successfully, with millions of people spending $3.99 a month, because it's just fun. And then they have it all virtually categorized, and it's great. And also, by the way, you might not select a go-to item. You might not select that you have a metallic green skirt, right? But you might actually have one. So even if I suggested that to you as inspiration, you might have, that might be another unworn item in your closet that you can pair, but you still gained you still gained value. You still gained value that now you're going to look great in an outfit that you didn't think about before. You still gained that utility. You still helped the world by not buying, something else that because you already had something that looks great. And I think then like, the cycle's complete, that we're giving something of value, and that's something that you're willing to pay a subscription for.
Okay, so you do have a subscription option then.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was of the three. One was the brands. The second was for stylists and organizers to use it and pay a licensing fee. And the third is direct to consumer. And that would be a monthly subscription that we could, by the way, also, and I've seen this work. And again, I'm going to let the MVP define it, but we could weave if you buy something. So I mean, I think there's a lot of really fun ways around it still being reasonable. Like the goal is here for people to not spend money, but then to just, use their stuff, and for it to be a business that is that's organic and sustainable and fun, and that can grow pretty quickly.
Right. Because I think the subscription option is very interesting, because you could certainly pitch that as, subscribe to us, look great, and then save money on your clothing bill. I think a lot of people would be very interested in that.
I agree, Lois. Tripti, can you go to that slide too? So you'll have it up, and then Professor Clark, I know you had some feedback. Let me ask Kyle if he had any clarifying questions, and then we'll go to you, Professor Clark.
Yeah, actually, going off of kind of what Professor Clark was asking before about like if the stylists are employees, and how you said that you're going to have a bunch of data points. So does this company have like an AI centered thing? Was that like your long-term goal, is to have pretty much everything done through AI, so then you don't have to hire a bunch of stylists and such?
Yes, but I would say short answer is yes. Longer answer is it has to be a little hybrid, because I've just seen there's so many data points you have to collect in order to have that AI thing work perfectly, where you're not confusing a shirt for a blazer, where there still has to be some oversight. And I think that there's some magic instead of saying, I think that Stitch Fix did lose a lot of when they moved all of their 5,000 stylists into an algorithm, in their last earnings call, they said, and this is really exciting actually for me, is that they said, what I had said is that like now they want to have people look into your closet. People were not happy anymore just getting a box of like surprise items or completing their look. They want to know what I have, what I can pair it with, what I can buy, what those prices are. There's a lot more transparency. Now you need a person to do that. And for me, I'm saying, why not just have them upload it all? You don't need to have these like one-on-one sessions. Upload your looks, upload your closet, and then have a stylist oversee it. So short answer, yes, much more AI, much more machine learning, much more data. And that's why, Anant is so special, to me in this project. But there still has to be some oversight, because I think the minute you start compromising quality, that's the minute that people don't want to use you anymore. If you're just going to give me, whatever, there still has to be some checkpoints. So it'll still have to be overseen by a team of stylists for sure.
Yeah, thanks for the clarification. That actually makes a lot more sense.
Professor Clark, I know you had some feedback too.
Yeah, well, first I just want to say, I really like this idea. The thing that I like is that it is very clear how it separates itself from other competitors that you listed. One of the big things that I see is that most, and this is like a pro, and there's pros and cons to it, but the message is very much opposite, where most companies are consumption. You kind of approach it a different way, which is put yourself a little bit. It reminds me a lot of the Patagonia "Don't Buy This Jacket" campaign, right? That turned out to be super successful. The thing, so I like the model. It's like you take things that you already have, try to figure out how to use them, more and better. The one thing that I think like Patagonia adds to it that would be useful is what happens when you're done with that item. I think you guys could add some value to your customers by giving them an outlet to do something with that waste that will naturally occur. Even if they can wear more items, there is going to be some amount that you can hopefully avoid.
so smart. And just so you know, again, if I had a roadmap here, you would see it because I see exactly what you're saying. And that's that we're starting with this, which is let me just show you how to wear it. Let me either show you how to wear something you have. So we'll go back to that brown jacket. Let me show you how to wear something that you have with that jacket, or let me show you how to intentionally purchase something that matches that jacket. That's the first steps, right? But then after that is, what if you don't like any of your matches that you that I gave you, either that you already own or that you can buy? Well, the logical next step, if I'm holistically addressing that item, the logical next step is, hey, would you like to sell it? So like scraping sites like Sellhound or whoever that I can say, because this jacket is selling for this price. Here's the average, like here's what people are saying about it. Would you like to sell it? And if this person is like, you know what, I don't go through the work. I don't have to go list it, sell it, that. Then the last piece, if you don't go down rent, which I know is becoming a big thing, but if you didn't do that, the last piece is great. Then do you want to donate it? If I sent you a prepaid packing slip, would you donate it? And now we've holistically addressed it. That's one less piece you have to worry about. Either you're going to wear it, you're going to sell it, or you're going to donate it. But anyway, it definitely is on my roadmap. It's such a good point. I'm fascinated by it. And then I do want to say one more thing you're right, there's pros and cons, and I'm a big believer in what Patagonia is doing. But there are going to be a lot of new requirements that are put on all brands by 2025, like in this, under the current rules right now, that all companies are going to have to, by 2025, very specifically talk about the emissions and greenhouse and climate effects that are existing in their supply chains. So something like this, where I can say, and if returns are the biggest piece of that, if I can say I can reduce your returns because I can get you that much closer to visualization, where if someone sees themselves in it, they're like 40% less likely to return it. I think that brands would be that much more likely to embrace something like this, because there might even be a legal mandate to do so.
One other thing that I think that you actually have a better model, because although Patagonia, for example, has the "Don't Buy This Jacket" campaign, they still rely on consumption. So it's kind of it's a little bit of a marketing trick, right? But yours actually, your revenue streams may not rely on consumption at all. So you're able to accomplish kind of their mission and vision with that, environmental stuff, but also generate revenue without consumption. Anyway,
right.
Good job.
The subscription is meant to do is sort of mitigate the risk of, to Lois's point, relying on consumption, relying on a rev share, relying on that. So hopefully between the three, there's a there.
Great. Thanks, Professor Clark. I was just thinking offhand. This is a little comment. Well, and anyone can step in, but your cohorts all rooting you on, Tripti. There's some questions. There's some great strategy pieces there. But you know what? There was one slide, and we could talk about. We always had this kind of ask slide, right? Like what you think about? Maybe there was one part on here offhand, but I'm gonna give you a chance to say that now. Like it could be, needing maybe warm intros or things like that. But what were like a couple of things you just want to maybe ask the group or ask the community?
Thanks, Carling. The truth is that you're right. That is not a slide in here, and there's two reasons. One is because I am a finance person, and I'm extremely discerning with every dollar. So until I know the exact payback, the exact LTV, the exact CAC, I'm not going to ask anybody for anything. And in fact, we've been offered money, but I won't do that until I know what this business model is, what revenue it produces, how much it's going to cost me to bring in a customer. So that's excluded. The thing that I would actually really love, there's two things in terms of mentorship and advisement and help, is as we move past this stage. So as you saw, or I can pull you to it. The visualization is so important. And if we can truly prove that visualization leads to engagement, whatever that engagement is, right now, this is a very manual process. This is let me get all of your stuff, let me put you in this. And there are companies that can help. There are a lot of VR companies right now that are entering the space that can help. But I think that sort of an expert in rendering, someone who can already do that, someone who already has a shop that could do that would be really helpful. So on the tech side, I think having real-time rendering would be fantastic, because instead of waiting for an email to come back, if everything was sort of matched for you and you could see things immediately, that, again, I feel like that's something that people would want to pay for in a subscription. It's like Clueless, like here's my, all my clothes. And the second is on the awareness front. So, Curling and I both know the same like CEO who said those sort of, unheard and untold equals unsold. You can have a great idea, and if it's sitting on the shelf and no one's heard about it, no one cares. So I think that someone who, can help with sort of once we get through our wait list, it might take some time where there's a lot of people on our wait list. Brand awareness, go to market, best customer acquisition strategies. Those would be the two areas where I think that we might benefit the most from in the short term.
That's great. And just one clarification on that visualization help. I know there's UI, UX, Kyle, and I'm always thinking like when I think of visualization, I think of like Kyle and Elliot too. But are you thinking like in like long term, is this going to be some sort of AR type of piece, augmented reality, or like a Snapchat filter that I will look stylish or something? Just a little bit clarification on that, maybe long term, what that looks like.
Yeah. I think that the tech is not there, to be honest, on the, like, if Amazon has tried it, with like Echo, a bunch of people have tried it and it's failed. Like, I definitely don't think that us, 5, regardless of how, good looking the other 4 are, I don't think we can do that. So I think what we're going to do is focus on truly just like the universal mannequin model, right? So it's 2D, it's just you, and you pick your outfits, and it's put on your body. And the most difficult part about that is the elongation and like the actual body measurements, the adjustments of waist, the adjustments of it's like the nitty gritty of that. But I also do not think that it's that difficult to do. And there's already some sort of, off the shelf software that does it. It's just not cloud-based and it's not licensed. Like right now you can't license it. But if I was to raise money, that would be the first place that I would go, because I think that is just the easiest way to imagine yourself in something and to see yourself in something is for it to be right in front of you. So again, like one of the first reasons that we said this is like, not everybody's 6'2" and blonde and, looks like those models. So I want to see what it looks like on me, and I want to look great. And I want to know that I'm going to look great when I pick it out for an event.
Great. Thanks for clarifying that. Kyle, did you have any feedback on that?
On the VR AR type thing, I'm actually very integrated with that realm of such. I'm not a developer or anything for that. But like me and Elliot have been exploring a lot with VR AR, and actually one of my best friends is a co-founder of a huge startup in Chicago for VR AR. So I think I would say the tech would be there, maybe not necessarily for smaller companies. Definitely for the larger companies who can pour the money into it. Because I like to call it, there's something called the Industry 4.0, which is the new industry revolution using big data, AI, and all of that. And I definitely think eventually it'd be really cool to see you guys be able to do that if you guys were to be like pioneers in that realm. I know that would take a lot of your resources and such. So I do think you're right into maybe focusing on 2D right now. I had like a quick question, like software side of things. Where do you store all your current information then? Do you guys pay for some type of cloud storage? So you like store all of the images people uploads? And then like, how does that work? Like,
okay.
And Tripti, I know you have Anon on, and you have some of your
and I really
team.
actually want to introduce them. So thank you so much for that segue, Curling. So, and Kyle, for such a good question. And by the way, I will be calling you afterwards to be talking about your VR, situation. So the great news about having a fantastic team, because it is literally a fantastic team. The great news about that is a lot of times you can just outsource to them, like let them be experts, right? And this morning I actually texted Anant and I'm like, hey, so I just trust you. And he literally, our meetings are like, he'll show us like some back end stuff, and like Ali's talking about like fashion week, and like, everyone's like very expert. But he was like, well, we're building in GCP servers and using Firebase and MySQL, because he's loved MySQL. Like, we've worked together in 3 different companies. He's taken it everywhere. But I know that I can't answer that question as fabulously as Anant and Ali, and I would love to introduce them if I could.
Sure, definitely.
So if you guys could unmute yourself and just give a quick intro, and maybe if Kyle has questions for you, if you could answer them, that'd be great.
Hi, Kyle. This is Anant. I think from a tech stack point of view, we are using the Google Cloud, and for at least the MVP initial implementation. With the serverless technology, we are not for all the provisioning. I think Google has a Firebase as their serverless environment, and so we are using that. And then from a database point of view, is managed as MySQL resources in there. And this is also, we are looking into like both a web app as well as the mobile app also, right? This fits well into in the mobile first thing in there. We are evaluating both options.
Yeah, so actually that was my other question is this mainly a VR, not VR. It is mainly like a website that you go to and you upload, or is this like a mobile thing where it would make sense because I'd be able to take a picture, right?
Yep.
And then for just to upload from my phone. So
Right.
Thanks for answering that, actually.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ali Yarkhan, and first of all, thank you so much for creating this platform. What amazing questions and comments coming through. It's just so exciting. It makes us all feel pumped up. And I'm here to convert your sartorial quotient to your intelligent quotient, So whenever you need any input and want to look good and be good and do good, join our waiting list.
Thanks, Al. Ali looks very stylish. I understand. Always very stylish. To our other guest mentors, and Larry, I always think you're stylish too. I know you were saying that earlier, but every time I see you at university, you're always stylish. Any final thoughts for Tripti, our founder? It's still Larry Maxim.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, I think she's thought it through quite a bit, quite well, and there's some good inputs here. So I don't think I have anything else at the moment, but I try to look neat anyway.
That's great.
Right.
Professor Clark, or Lois, any final thoughts for?
Yeah, yes, I think it is well thought through, and I love the fact that you have a waiting list. This is, I guess, a relatively operational types of question. I mean, how long will it take, let's say, to actually do the styling? Let's say I subscribe. I mean, I could have like a lot of items in my closet. Do you have a feel for the amount of turnaround time it will actually take to provide the looks?
Yes. So currently we're thinking between 24 and 48 hours. So a lot of the back end work's already being done with Ali and Leanna already putting together, sort of classic combinations. And so they've put together a lot of iterations already. So that would be very quick if you pick something that, is on their long list of things that they've already done. But the way that it would work is you upload it, Anant is going to capture it, he's going to get it to Ali and Leanna of, here's Lois, here's what she's picked. Do you already have something? Do you need to do something? And that is the difference between the 24 and the 48 hours. They're going to put you in, those looks. And also it may be a little bit different if you upload your picture versus if you just want, the looks flat, because that could be very quick. And then they send you an email, and the email redirects you to the site where your looks are on a page for you.
Right. And so if I subscribe, is there any limit to the amount of items I can upload for you all to work with? Or is it just I mean, my closet could have like 100 items. Can I upload all of
I
them?
think
Or
I think
is
two
there
things. I
some
think
sort of,
one, Ali, we have to send Ali to your house, right? So that is like step one. Step two is that for the beta, it's 10. Like we're starting off with just 10 to see how many people do more than one, how many people do 10. And again, that's going to lead us to, are people more willing to subscribe, or are people just, is it a one and done? I just need this for an event and I'm done with you, which is then that's just easy rev share. It's less exciting as a model, but that's what we're trying to gauge.
okay. Otherwise, I could say I love your slides. The slides look stylish too, which is very appropriate there. On your billboard slide, I know you probably have gotten a lot of advice on this. It would be nice to see something with a closet or a clothes or something on there.
Oh, so fun. Yes, no, it's a great idea. So what, just so you know, and when Ali comes to your house, he'll show you this, but we are going through, like, Ali's working with some very fancy people to come up with a very fancy logo. And this one we liked because there's like, it actually goes down saying TSC, which is what we call ourselves, but then it's also kind of cool. Another thing that we're evaluating, because Google does look at, and Shaw knows a lot of this, but like Google also looks at like if there's missing, like if there's underscores. So it's like taking out 2 letters and having those letters be like rotating clothes. So you kind of know what it's about. But you're right. And I don't know if this is probably my least favorite slide, but was the last logo that we went with, and we're seriously in like the heart of iterations right now, but it's good feedback.
Could I just say a quick thing that the wear more of what you own, I think what can make this slide look infinitely better, it's just having that be the same font as the stylish closet. Because I think this is a different font than almost everything on this like pitch deck. Or I just think it'd look a lot cleaner because I think it's sans serif. So if you can keep the same as the rest.
I am going to trust a UI guy on that. So I will, as we get closer, this is going to, I'm sure, iterate 12 more times, but I will send it to you. And thank you.
That's great. And we've been getting feedback from the cohort too. I think Chris, thanks for all the feedback online. We have all this little chat. Did you want to get one thought, Chris, on the presentation? Let's see if Chris is still on.
Yeah, sure. No, I really like the idea. I think the presentation, of course, is great, as I expected that it would have great presentation. The idea, we were just chatting about the whole idea of the AR and VR technology and how there's such a commercial scalability potential for that. And we were just talking about fast fashion. I know that your whole thing is about, keeping it as sustainable as possible, and maybe even going into the resale space, if that would be the case, if they wouldn't want to keep all of their stuff. But we were just talking about, it would be so interesting if you were to pioneer something in that area, because man, I can just imagine fast fashion jumping on something that incorporated, because they're already an app driven, they're starting to transition towards app driven commercial spaces. So having something, I mean, most cameras are not having LiDAR that could handle doing virtual reality, but they eventually will iterate that technology as more folks buy, iPhone 12s or whatever's equivalent. So yeah, no, just all around great ideas. I can't wait to see what directions you take it when you go through your iteration processes. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. And Loranda, you got to unmute yourself. This is actually a really good question to ask Tripti too, as we close things up.
Yes. Tripti, I just wanted to know your social media handles. I know when it comes to fashion, utilizing social media will actually be a great advantage for your company. So I wanted to follow you and also, just suggest your company to some of my followers. So I was wondering, what are your social media handles?
Okay.
Thanks, Loranda.
Thank you, Loranda. And curling knows this. And it's an area I really need to get better at. Literally, like, we have to work on it. So we just opened up our social accounts, and we're looking at like some firms to help us build up our social, but we don't actually have one yet. So that's that's not a great update, but I will work on it this week.
That's great. That's great. And thanks for being transparent on Tripti. But that's some good feedback from the cohort. I want to actually wrap it up now. In some ways, I want to just thank some of our guest sharks and guest mentors. First of all, Larry Maxim, who's coming all the way here from. I think you're in Arizona, right, Larry?
That's correct.
Thanks for coming on. Larry went to so many city highlights, the in-person one. So thank you, Larry, so much. Kyle, I also want to thank you too. Where are you at right now? Are you in Chicago?
I'm currently in Champaign, Illinois. I'm from the Chicago area, but yeah. I'm all the way south, kind of. It's around it. Besides my college town, it's all corn. So very different than California.
Thanks, Kyle, again for coming on. And Professor Clark, I want to thank you too. Are you back in Senegal? Are you up north?
I'm still home now.
Nice. And lastly, Professor Lois Shelton, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
I think what we'll do now and
can I thank everybody too?
Yeah, I'll give you the mic, Tripti.
I want to thank. This is so helpful. Thank you, and especially Ali and Anand. Totally no pressure. I'm so glad you came. But I think my mom and daddy are on the phone. So I don't know if they'll unmute themselves because they're all super shy, but I just saw like some of their names. So if you are there, thanks, mom and dad. Yay.
Yeah, we could give a shout. You gotta give a shout out to mom and dad. If they want to say hello or give you a little virtual hug to their daughter. Or...
They won't do it, but thanks anyway, guys.
That's great. I don't know if we'll have time. We could have like a little mini speed networking, possibly. Stephen, what do you think?
We could do it for 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. How about we do that? You can wrap it up for us. Thanks, Stephen, for coordinating everything.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for tuning in today. Thank you, Tripti, for being our city highlight resident for this month, and being able to be put on the spot and share your pitch deck and everything in between. So thank you. But yeah, just to wrap everything up, feel free to give us a like, leave a comment down below. We want this to be a learning experience for everyone tuning in. So feel free to do that. And I'm going to end the YouTube live right now. But for those who want to stick around for the speed networking, just stay on and we will just randomly match everyone up for 3 or 4 minutes. And so you'll have a chance to go in a breakout room and network with somebody else on the call.
Sounds good, Stephen.